It is 6:01 on the East Coast. It is 3:01 on the West Coast. It is the 30th of August in the year of our Lord 2020, Season 2, Episode 19, 66 times. This face and or this voice has welcomed you to the Cheap Popcast. Your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling is on the air. And normally on pay-per-view day, we're on at 3:30 Eastern, but we're doing something brand new today, and we're so glad you're with us. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Cheap Popcast, and I have been a ball of nerves all day. But we got to show up the t-shirt today. Going old school with it. Let's go around the dais. First of all, joining us from a remote location in Grand Prairie, Texas, he is the official fact checker of Sooner Gator Productions, and he's got a new shirt. He is. You may know him as Ig Bunu, but his mama named him Don Ford. I'm going to call him Don Ford. Hey, man.
Well, you know my birthday is on October 13th. Hint, 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 hint.
Didn't know that. Had
well,
no idea.
Yeah, Fantastic Fate 4 gave me this awesome T-shirt there. God's gift. MJF, the man who's better than me, and I know it. But this is from the Fantastic Fate 4, an early birthday gift because she's so awesome.
All right. Also joining us is my co-host and the only person wearing show branding today. He is Alex. Hey, man.
So I'm just going to jump it right off. If you want to buy this shirt or one you may see later, go to prowrestlingtees.com/thecheappopcast. Now let's get going.
Also joining us today in studio, the reason Don is remote, we had to get an extra person in studio for the grand experiment today. This is his first time in the brandest newest studio, and he is rip-roaring ready to go for this. The return of Leonard Anderson. You know him as LA. Hey, brother.
Hey, what's going on? We all know the real reason Don is not here is because they had to have the seat reserved for the man. And since we're going ahead and hawking merchandise, you can get your Cutting Up with LA shirt on Instagram.com/MMTG clothing.
And if you think that shirt is pretty something, you should see the shorts that are going along with it. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
All right.
So hot.
More than $1. If it's more than $1, don't buy it. It's not worth it.
All right, so let's hold on. We don't have a lot of time, so we got to get moving. Right now, what we want you to do, make sure that you have us on your laptop, on your portable device. So on your TV, make sure you've got WWE Network pulled up, because right now the kickoff show is on for Payback. When Payback starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, do not leave the vocal stream, because we are going to be streaming live when we get moving. We're going to be doing live watch along. We have a special name for it and everything coming up at 7 o'clock Central. The way we're going to do it tonight is while the kickoff show is on, we're going to be doing our normal show. But when they start to feature one of the matches on the card, we're going to do our picks right there, right then for that match. So I'm going to be doing a lot of multitasking tonight, but it's great. We're very excited for this, and thank you, Vocal, for helping us bring this part of our dream to fruition. And we can't forget the extra man out in the hallway, host of Big 12 Talk. He's back from his vacation. He's refreshed. He's got almost sea-level air in his lungs again. He is Jay Gillespie out in the hallway. Hey, brother.
Hey, man. How's it going?
How was your vacation, man?
Oh, it was very good.
Up
very
there
good,
in the great state of Colorado.
It was, man. A little bit different weather than Texas. A little bit cooler, a little bit nicer. But hey, I mean, we're back and we're ready to go. So.
Well, we're glad you're back home, brother.
You fight any fires while you was out there, man?
Yeah, well, we got close.
He fights enough fires in here on Sundays. He's not worried about those. We do want to start the week on Alex.
We are breaking. They have added a match for the kickoff: the Iconics versus the Riot Squad.
Breaking news.
All right, let me get to my spreadsheet here.
So just to make sure we get that, we are running the card on WWE Network. Thank you, Jay, for bringing that camera over for me.
Barely.
But they are running their card right now. I wanted to make sure that we got that covered since the kickoff had not been established until just now.
All right, so we got that one. They've already mentioned that one, so let's go ahead and do those picks. Don, you're remote. Let's start with you. Iconics versus the Riot Squad.
Iconics by pin.
All right. Give me just 1 second to update that.
I think I already know where LA is going with it.
LA.
They're burying the Iconics. I don't even know why they even have them on TV time anymore. We're going with the Riot Squad by pin.
All right. Alex?
Who are you?
Just calling it like it is. Man.
I'm calling the Iconics by pin to go along with Don. Right now, they're still trying to sell the uneasiness between the Riot Squad members because reasons. And, the Iconics have gotten a lot better in the ring, so why not highlight them even if it is a kickoff?
I agree with LA. The burying of the Iconics continues, and it's too early for the reunited Riot Squad to lose. So I am saying a Riot Squad via pinfall as well. We're not going to go through the whole card. Russ just texted me. He's watching. We're thankful that you're here, brother. We can't wait to bring this whole project to you. We do want to start the headlines on a bit of a down note. The passing of Bullet Bob Armstrong at 80. For those of you that don't know, the Armstrong family is one that is just as ingrained in the industry as the Harts or people of that ilk. In the 80s, they were huge. Bullet Bob is the father of one Road Dogg. Man is a Hall of Famer. No doubt in anybody's mind. LA's watching movies.
No.
Any thoughts on Bullet Bob?
Honestly, probably one of the most underrated faces of all time. He was just ahead of the boom that came with Hogan. Still territorial face. Meltzer did a great piece on him, establishing that one of the all-time lesser-known feuds was some work he did with Roddy Piper. And if you can find that, apparently the promos were really, really well done. And also part of the reason why it might be argued that their family has held physically more titles than any other family due to Brad's history as a ref, but at the same time, all deserved.
Guys like
and
him.
I remember them as a tag team growing up, but watching them on TBS and World Class, and them and his son, Brad Armstrong, tag team champions and all that stuff. I mean, that guy's iconic in the South. You knew who he was. Like if you lived in Texas, you knew who the Von Erichs were. If you lived in Georgia, you knew who the Armstrongs was.
Yeah, I think guys like him are a big credit to elevating superstars that we see today, and they're very necessary in the uplifting because they also help what people don't see behind the scenes with a lot of training and development of up-and-coming stars as well. So yeah, he's definitely gonna be missed.
That's an excellent point.
And speaking of legends, there is now a specific shop for legends on WWE Shop. They've gotten their own shop now, so that's kind of neat. And
I might actually be more interested in that area than any other.
In another quick turnaround pay-per-view, your next WWE pay-per-view will be September 27th. We are now going back to Clash of Champions.
What?
Instead of Night of Champions.
What?
Yep.
It's a better name.
I've always loved Clash of Champions.
It's more alliterative.
So as we get ready for what could be Hell in a Cell in October. Tomorrow night, you will have Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. This is supposed to close the angle tomorrow night, I'm being told,
please.
which gives me hope for the not heel turn of Dominic tonight, but there's still room. Some show notes from Raw. So is Lumberjill a bad thing now? Because I thought that was when you had a women's lumberjack match, they were called Lumberjills.
Well,
which is the terminology from the industry.
Well, it should be a lumber person because we don't want to force people with gender roles.
However, they are trying to actually stay true to it since Lumberjack is the title, not an actual dude named Jack who chops down trees. So calling it Lumberjill is kind of weird.
But they did used to call it that. But
they did used to, but they're trying to advance.
Let
Let them get that right.
And you're going to excuse my terminology here in just a second, but having three women chant "whoop these tricks" is okay?
We have to go to LA for that one.
Well, why are we going to me? Is
because you've used the term more than we have.
Oh, have I?
Yes, you have.
Do we have that on film? Do we have that on tape?
Yes.
Yes,
you've seen other shows you've
Rob,
been
you
on.
invite me to this? Is this a show that
you
you invite me to?
The opinions of Alex do not necessarily reflect those of the Cheap Podcast.
But if you'd like to go back and see other shows that LA was on, he's the only person who has said it.
Good night.
I don't remember you saying that, so it's just
I do.
America.
Or was this the response to Impact talking about that match being an Iron Man match? I was just very confused on that whole deal.
You just need to just cut out the gender role. Everybody's so sensitive.
Just skip over it.
No
Yeah.
genders, just Iron
person. And then my thought was, oh crap, an arm wrestling match. I saw that in the beginning. I was like, these never work.
Because they go so smoothly.
And then Baszler took on Bayley, who's the SmackDown Women's Champion.
You're looking for logic that doesn't exist.
And why does Keith Lee have new music?
It is. It's called.
We did get an explanation.
I know why, but I had
logic.
That was in my notes, so I had to say it very loudly.
To be fair, it was his choice.
I don't care. That was a crap theme song.
Well, they're saying to give it through tonight. If you don't like tonight,
no, they're changing it tonight.
Right.
They're changing it again.
Right, but it may be good tonight.
It'd be better than it was on Monday night.
As you like to say, assume positive intent.
Right. The company is distancing from anybody that's using a theme song done by CFOs so they can stop paying them.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the themes that are being brought to the personalities are going, yeah, no, I'm keeping my music. Turkey legs, when you want to send the very best.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Did you not see Otis giving? Oh no, it was Ibar giving a turkey leg to the girl from The Bachelor who apparently is still on the show.
It's the counterpoint to the rose from Garza.
I prefer stuffed turkey legs, actually.
Next time I barbecue, I might put turkey legs on.
I'm a big fan of the turkey leg.
Yeah, stuffed turkey legs for me.
I'm not sure what it is, but I thought Raw looked better in Thunderdome.
It did. I feel like
SmackDown did.
because of SmackDown getting the freshness of it and not necessarily knowing what they're doing, Raw had to learn from what didn't work, unless it's audio, in which case let's just set some ambient noise too high and leave it go.
I don't like the fans. I don't.
Did you?
Oh, you heard about the fans? Some got banned because they're like wearing.
No.
Yeah,
Some got banned for good reason.
Yeah,
Moving right along.
Yeah, we're not going
I don't care. I just don't like the fans.
I
don't
still hate
like it.
I still hate the voice crowd in it.
I like
Exactly.
the concept. I don't like the execution.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean,
I think it's better than what they could do. I think it's the best of a bad situation.
The streaming looks like MS Dot. I mean, almost it's so
still-
archaic.
But I still want to know, and I put this in my notes too. I'd like to know what kind of a delay the fans are on, if they are on a delay, because
they're told that they have to have like they're being told like start cheering at this time. They're getting like
they're getting
feeds
prompts.
Right, but Don, that's not what I'm asking though. What I'm asking is I want to know what they see in relativity to what we see. Are they seeing it when we see it? Are they seeing it live? I'm just wondering what the difference in timing is.
I kind of think they're just seeing themselves, though, based on the camera, so make sure that they're framed up and they're having the show on separately.
Kind of like having the WWE Network on right now as we're getting ready to do our watch along with WWE Payback.
Awesome.
And we didn't even rehearse that.
Awesome
Let's be clear
segue.
on that.
I'm talking about radio professionals here. Except for
Technically, video.
except for the guy to my left.
Is Apollo?
Can you tell your difference from your right and left?
Tom Thurman
he
says, "Hey."
absolutely can.
Yeah.
Tom Thurman says, "Hey." By the way,
Strong Thurman.
yeah,
Who's Tom Thurman?
that guy.
Don't. Is Apollo Crews from Houston?
I do not know.
What was up
Braun
with that
Strowman.
shirt? Because that shirt looked like the old Astros stuff that he was wearing
I-
on Monday night.
I believe it is the country he originates from in Africa. Is that color scheme? Yes.
Because it looked like the old Astros uniforms.
Similar coloration,
Oh, okay.
but it's actually the flag and doing the classic green, yellow, red that is
Okay.
most nations.
Cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is Raw Underground a thing?
Because Shane.
Because Shane, before he takes over the writing, had to do something.
Because reasons, apparently.
Ray is Ray is
Sacramento.
what?
Cruz was born in Sacramento, California.
Right, the country his folks are from, and why his given name is
He's
very
said by
unique.
Houston. He actually is born in Sacramento.
Okay, fair enough. Ray is way overselling this bit, and it concerns me. That's all I'm saying at this point.
Shout out to Steven who asked
do you
me a
mean?
weird question just now.
I'm sorry. What was that you said?
I said Ray's way overselling this, and it concerns me.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, and having Angie on screen is a little weird too.
And Underground in Thunderdome, it's like worlds are colliding all of a sudden,
the underground of Thunderdome.
which is adjacent to Thunderdome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why
Too
do-
much-
why-
Really want Mel Gibson to just wander through and go,
Why
no.
do the face's eyes heal slower than the bad guy's eyes when they get their eyes punched out? Or
Because the heels don't care and they just go full force, whereas the faces are a little hesitant.
No, because heels are cold-blooded.
Okay.
Cold makes the swelling go down.
okay, I was just trying. I was wondering.
We didn't even rehearse that.
You're way too happy about this. Don't worry, folks. 4 hours. 4 hours.
We're just getting
Before
started.
Lashley missed that kicked by a mile.
Start with Lashley. He misses everything by a mile. That's why they gave him a full Nelson. It's impossible
And
to mess
plus,
that up.
I think that the spacing of his bits was not done well because there's no way he was going to lose the arm wrestling match and then get beat by Ziggler in Thunderdome.
Oh, God,
Or in
no.
Underground, whatever it was.
Underdome? That's what we need to call it. It's
Thunderground.
Raw Underground
It's
is
Thunder-
dead.
it's
It is the
Thunderground.
Underdome.
No, it's Thunderground.
That is our new line of athletic supporters, the Underdome. I am on fire today.
Yeah, like a match.
Where'd these crickets come from?
And I haven't even had my next energy drink yet.
Emphasis on next.
And Lashley, with that
Will the WWE make a pay-per-view called Thunderground?
I mean,
Thunderground.
that's your new battle. No, that's your new bragging rights.
Yes, the WWE Thunderground.
If it happens, you know what the deal is. If it happens, Lashley, even and that second kick he did, he pulled that thing horribly.
The only thing you could say for Lashley is because he's done actual MMA, he either knows how to connect or miss by a mile. There's only two ways.
And I hate it when I speak things into existence.
But you do.
I said something last week on this show.
There we go.
Let's go to the end of Raw.
Uh-huh.
There was an end?
Retribution,
watching.
who it took you long enough to show up. And my note was, at least they delayed the Dominic heel turn. But notice, they left Rollins alone. They didn't even go after him.
That's true.
I said on this show last week, please don't let him be. Please don't let him be the leader of Retribution.
Well,
all right,
he
so
is the Messiah.
we now have right now on, if you're watching the WWE Network, because we're working with them, kind of, sort of, we've got the video package for the women's tag team titles, which are on the line. Golden Role Models
Meh.
versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. LA.
This is tough because you're seeing the cracks between the Bailey and Boss connection. I'm gonna say that Baszler, Jax, new champs, pin.
Hold on, I'm typing that right now. Hold
Hate
on.
to say it, but that's what it is.
One moment, please. Go to LA's column. Put that in there.
Time
Alex.
for a black man to be champ. Just saying.
Earn it. At that same point, I have to agree with the winners from
Black.
LA because they have no patience to tell this Bailey Banks separation long enough to get all the way to Mania, or we're just going to get this rehashed over and over again. But we haven't had, and we were talking about this in our pre-show to the pre-show, we haven't had the mismatched tag champions in a long time, and we've never had it with the women's tag titles. So I kind of am looking forward to this, even if it is going to be transitional to somebody. But I agree it's going to be Baszler and Jax. But I'm not calling a finish because I don't know which one of them gets it.
Don.
Black picks matter.
Yes, they do.
Dear.
I'm going to go with Baszler and Jax by submission. I'm going to be daring. Submission.
I agree with Don.
Mm-hmm.
These two win by submission, and it's going to be Baszler that gets the submission because
absolutely.
that's the bit.
Well, but the thing is if it's Jax, it's a pin. If it's Baszler, it's submission.
Right. But you're erring on the side of caution. I respect
Exactly. I'm playing smart.
AEW Dark this year has 12 matches for an hour 58. AEW Dark was 1.5 dynamites again. Get this under control. And here's your notes.
What's wrong?
Storm Thomas has one of the most wrestling names ever.
Thank you. Thank you, Taz, for making that better.
And it also gave me one of my favorite Taz moments where he was like, his name is Storm because you can tell because he has Storm written on the leg of his trunks. I love you, Taz.
I love how Taz just calls it like it is because he'll just look at it and be like, yeah, this is a thing, so here we go.
By the way, Russ has texted in his pick. He is saying Bailey and Sasha via pinfall.
Of course. Good old Russ. Rapid Russ.
By the way, he just announced he's going to be a great uncle again. He's
good for him.
having a baby girl, so congratulations.
Congrats,
to him.
sir. Congrats.
All right. Doing this way could definitely being experimental right now. Jesse Sorensen can't be broken. I'd kind of like to see the paperwork on that because of who he faced.
Also, that.
Archer beat up a guy with a never give up shirt. I thought that was interesting.
Well, the other fun part to that is you think about it with Archer coming out to Everybody Dies. We didn't realize it meant because the show is so long.
Yes. But during that match, Veda Scott broke me. Or Veda Scott, I'm sorry. Where it was like, 1, 2, and she goes, oh, don't kick out at this point. She's like, just let it end. And the Vicious Vixens is now a thing. So adjust your scorecards.
The Vicious Vixen.
Yep, that is Eddie. That's Vicky Guerrero and
Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose.
Okay.
Okay, so we're now talking about the U.S. title being on the line. If you're watching along on the WWE Network, Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley. Alex.
It's got to be Lashley at this point with how you're booking him. Finally, you have a mouthpiece because anytime he speaks, I want to change the channel. He's the old flips to Nitro, but he is such a physical force, and I don't know whether it's going to be tap out or pass out. Do those both count as submission?
It's still a submission either way. Yes,
then it's a submission.
It's not a pinfall.
Okay, Lashley by submission.
Don.
I'm going to go Lashley by pinfall. And also, Apollo Crews, just to let you know, Nigerian.
There you go.
Yep.
L.A.
Okay, just to do a quick recap. Has Apollo Crews faced all members of the Hurt Business and won?
Yes.
Everybody but Lashley.
I thought he got away with one against Lashley this past Monday.
Well, that was
Because
the arm wrestling. I don't.
That's still a win.
Okay, fine.
Even though heels usually win those things.
So he's beaten everybody.
He
has a win in the record book against all three of them, yes.
But he hasn't beaten Lashley.
In a match.
In a traditional match.
I think they want him to go for the Triple Crown.
So are you saying Apollo Crews?
Unfortunately, yes. I'm going to go with Crews. I want to say DQ type, but
Interesting.
I'm going to go DQ. I think they're not going to let him beat Lashley and do the hat trick. I think they're going to come in and, yeah.
I still think it's Lashley versus submission, but here's the thing. I can't call shenanigans here because...
Hurt Business.
No, not the Hurt Business.
Oh.
Cedric Alexander.
True.
Wait, new
However,
member of the Hurt Business? Is that what you're
Yes.
calling? Okay,
Yes.
I just confirmed.
However,
I see that.
I think you're trading one for the other. I think you're going to plant the seeds for a possible Lashley face turn.
Oh, God, no.
It's been long enough. Lashley
Yes,
as a
I
heel
have
has
seen
been-
Lashley on my screen long enough.
I'm just saying, he's been heel long enough.
I think if you swap out anybody...
But that's why I'm calling the DQ.
But if you
because of
swap out anybody, it's Shelton.
But I didn't think it was shenanigans because of the whole angle.
Well, that's why I said I can't.
That's why I'm saying
say
it's not.
Because
Yeah. So that's what I
Right.
think Sid's going to come in
Right.
and yeah.
Impact News: Bound for Glory will be $39.99. That is the
That's
pricing.
about par for the
Do we
course
have
with that.
to?
Yes.
Okay.
RVD wrestled and jobbed,
Shocking.
so there was that. Wrestle House and Toga Party equals ratings.
Maybe. Depends on who's Toga.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Are you talking to Tex on our air?
No, I'm talking to the camera.
90% of people out there.
Well,
Oh,
you did say
sorry.
earlier that Steven had sent you a question.
Oh, that's
at the
old.
show.
That's old stuff.
Apparently, who can defeat Rojit is a thing now
Uh-huh.
because you can't hinder Rojit.
Uh-oh.
You can't defeat Rojit. You can't hinder
That's
gender.
what he said. Yeah.
Because we only have one way to book these people.
Then we had the 30-minute Iron Person,
These-
not gender-specific match for the Knockouts
Yes,
title.
that.
And we couldn't spring for a countdown clock or a scorecard.
Well, no, they already don't have
Well, they got one at the end.
they don't have a
Like-
positive announce
like-
team, and it didn't go 30 minutes.
And there were 3 pins in the last 90 seconds.
Right, but they did the old school thing of it's a 30-minute Iron Man. Just cut it off at 25 minutes.
Ross says Apollo by DQ as well.
So let me get it. It wasn't
Gotta
actually
remember,
30 minutes.
Russ is
I
on a
remember
delay,
the clock
so-
at the
Oh no,
end.
no, no! I get it.
What, Don?
Okay, so it wasn't actually 30 minutes because I remember seeing the clock at the end, not the beginning.
Right, they didn't go a full 30
Right.
minutes. They just shifted to putting up a clock at that point. So
Oh.
if you remember,
And that match
one of
was-
the things that Ric Flair had talked about in a 60-minute is they've gone greater than if
Right.
it's working. They don't actually start the clock, especially on house show styles, until it comes to the end. They don't always go the exact time, much like when we see the Royal Rumble times every year.
And that match could have been so much more given the participants. And it just
100%.
wasn't. AEW Dynamite.
Quick breaking news. The Mavericks
Yes.
have lost Game 6 and are going home. Clippers will move and advance in the NBA playoffs.
Or the team they're supposed to say is going to get a bye if they end the season, like they're talking about.
Yeah.
The Hangman turn now?
I don't know if it's quite the turn as much as the seeds based on how he looked remorseful.
I was
With
really
it-
hoping for more that set that up for All Out. But
Yeah.
Jericho, never trust a man in a cowboy hat. I have a question. Also, Jericho, It's not his day or his year. So close, Chris. You missed one little piece of that phrase. Especially on the Warner Brothers network. Warner Brothers is the ones that created Friends.
Hats. What do you mean cowboy hat?
He was talking about Paige saying never trust a man in a cowboy hat, but Paige wasn't wearing a hat.
Nor I don't believe he ever has on
I don't
air.
think he has either. Tony Schiavone, Bill Watts. I need this story. Because if you paid attention, Tony did not speak well.
Oh, no. There is
Bill
a
Watts.
long history. If you do listen to what happened when, Tony Schiavone is, or should I say Schiavone, is very anti-Bill Watts.
Okay, pick time. Doing my best Tommy Dreamer. Oh, you don't watch Impact, so you wouldn't have got that.
I try to.
During Wrestle House, he'll go, match time!
Oh, no, I've watched it.
Okay.
That's the best announcing they have.
Big E versus Sheamus. Don.
Big E by pin.
Expert analysis from Don Ford. Not giving me enough time to type.
Well, you said we're on a rush today. We have limited time. I'm not going to pull out my
Hey, he said L.A. Hush your mouth. Shut up and listen to the champ. We're going to go with Big E because we have to have the Kofi replacement as they're trying to do this Black Lives Matter movement, WWE version style of it.
Calling the finish.
Yeah, Big E's going to get a pin.
Alex.
I think LA took all of it, so Big E by pin.
I agree. There's no
But at
other
the
way
same
to
time,
say it.
he's so much more than that, but it's so important as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Big E
let's-
has been the one that we've talked
Yeah.
about for a singles run for so many years.
He gets his WrestleMania moment next year. I'm just saying. I'm calling it now.
Big E does?
Oh, yeah.
I do love that Ortiz still wears his TNA hat. That brings me joy.
Hey, when it fits.
And that's a cool hat.
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome hat. Is Penta taking shots now?
What do you mean?
He has one eye covered on the mask.
He has done that for a long
Okay,
time.
it's just-
it's just more obvious
okay,
now.
all right.
But did you notice the name change?
No.
He's no longer Pentagon Jr.
What is he?
He's Penta El Zero Medio.
It means no fear.
Yeah. But he went
I know some Espinola.
Espinola.
No, that's a boat.
It's a quesadillas too, by the way.
Depends on the restaurant.
Yeah.
But
Russ
he,
by the way, Russ has also picked Big E.
good. But he went by Penta
Quesadilla,
El
LA.
Zero.
Quesadilla.
It's Dillas. It's 2 L's.
But Penta has gone by Penta El Zero Medio for a long time. Pentagon Jr. is when he's in an area that he's not allowed to use Penta. But they were working that out logistically with anything else, so now he can. So we don't have to answer who the senior
He
is.
was more of a badass in Lucha Underground, by the way.
He is amazing. He's just not getting a chance in AEW right now. Him and Phoenix both.
Yeah, Phoenix is dope.
But
too.
have you seen lately with Eddie Kingston? Because I think you'd be on board with this. Eddie Kingston is amazing.
I like Eddie Kingston. I'm just interested to see where this goes.
Well, I think we're going to wind up with a situation where
Did we
you
just-
have Penta and Phoenix as singles competitors, with Butcher and Blade being the tag team. And did you notice that Jericho kept calling him by his real name? He kept calling him Big Andy. Because the Butcher's name is Andy Williams, guitar aficionado.
So
All right, pick time.
Death Triangle. Did we just end that angle?
Well,
I'm sorry.
Pac-
We gotta
Pac's
get
not
Pac-
available.
Yeah, we got to get him back to the country first. Tag team match.
It's now, the Death Quadrilateral.
Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. LA, I believe we are to you.
You got Ray and Seth tomorrow, huh?
Yep.
I don't want to pick this match because they wrestle tomorrow. This is a pointless match. Throw it away. Who cares?
Are you?
Rollins and Murphy with the pin over Dominic, I guess. I don't care.
So you said so the other two via pinfall.
Yeah. God. Seth pins Murphy or Dominic taps out Ray. Who cares?
I learn how to spell. Hold on. Alex.
I am. We've had Rollins beat the Mysterios time and time again.
But the Mysterio's gonna win tomorrow.
But because
That's
there
why.
is the match tomorrow,
Yeah.
I want to say it's more of a heelish fashion. I'm going to say the Mysterios win by pinfall tonight. And then tomorrow is Rollins wanting his rematch against Just Ray.
Don.
For my in-depth analysis on this
far
match,
from.
Oh, I need my board.
Here's his
I think
in-depth
this is their
analysis.
first match together as a tag team officially.
Technically, last time was official too.
So I see the Mysterios winning by pinfall tonight.
As do I. I'm not giving you an answer.
But we did also call this being on Payback before it was official during our live tweets of SummerSlam.
And I just got a tweet from.
This is their first match together as a tag team officially.
Correct.
I would say that the other one was official. It just ended in a schmoz.
Steven just texted me, AEW doesn't know how to book. That's why Penta is suffering. I can't say he's wrong.
Hey, no, he's not.
I can't say he's wrong.
It's still better than WWE.
That's also fair.
Russ also picks the Mysterios via pinfall. He says this is their revenge. So,
Yeah.
And by the way, we are going to be tweeting a little bit during the pay-per-view itself. Once we get our chat feature, we'll be able to let you guys chat with us live during the pay-per-views. But for now, Alex is going to be handling our tweeting tonight.
Oh no!
Jericho really upped his energy drink content before Dynamite. Dear God,
I think you're making an assumption of what that man was doing.
I'm just saying. Anna Jay is the newest member of the Dark Order. Wasn't that like a month ago?
Yeah.
Well, technically, she is still the newest. It's just been a while.
But this was the first time they gave her number.
Yeah,
That is
she
true.
did have a number before.
99. Anybody know what that's a reference to?
No.
No.
What I think it's why they called her 99?
No.
Get smart.
Still no.
That would make sense if you're over.
The female agent on the show Get Smart was Agent 99.
Got you.
LA,
which
are
was Anne
you over
Hathaway.
40?
No, hold on.
No.
They did they did a movie with Dwayne,
Did
and
not
Anne
care.
Hathaway played her.
Okay.
Anne Hathaway. How you doing? Matt
So
Cardona.
was she the one that was given the contract in the red contract by the ringside, or who is that?
That's Tay
That's
Conti.
Taya Conti from NXT, who looks great.
Formerly NXT.
Who looks great as a blonde.
She's always been.
So,
around.
But I mean,
now,
she's
isn't
upped it.
she the newest member now? Since they
I
Allegedly-
believe that's what it was.
Allegedly, they gave her the invitation.
There was some social media work as well. And it was pretty good from Anna Jay saying, remember, you can only see the stars when it's dark. And I was like, that's pretty good.
Matt Cardona, that's 3. Remember,
What?
he signed to 5 appearances.
So we're told.
I'm just saying.
It hasn't been confirmed.
Wednesday was 3. I like the stipulation to the tables match where you have to go through the table as the result of an offensive move.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of neat.
Not that screwy ending that
But
you get.
But
yeah.
I do have one question. Does Jericho still want Tyson?
Eventually.
Okay, just making
He's
sure.
busy.
L.A., did you see who was at the announce table Wednesday night on NXT?
I did not.
I'm afraid I got some bad news.
But
for you.
yes, yeah, there is some
And
very
he will-
bad news.
And he will be back this week. They've said he will be on the show Tuesday night.
He deserves it, man.
I love
I miss that guy.
Or Stu Bennett or whatever.
Stu
you want.
Bennett is the
Action
reference.
star Stu Bennett.
Yes. If the Punisher were British, Stu Bennett.
I'm afraid I got some bad
But
news.
still, the best line still has to go to Lance Storm. Contrary to what his gimmick might tell you, this is some good news.
I love Lance Storm. So we talked a lot about the McAfee Cole match last week. Meltzer said this week they did not rehearse.
I know, I was shocked.
His quote was, because Pat was good and they know Adam is great. And
Yes.
that's all you need to know. LA, your thoughts on that match? Did you get to watch it?
Steven was bothering me again. Say again.
It's okay. What your thoughts on the McAfee Cole match? Did you watch it? Okay,
Moving right
we'll
along.
move on.
Do you think?
I watched the entrances, though. To be fair,
Wait.
I did see the entrances.
Do you think somebody gets involved during next week?
I'll be interested. I hope so.
I hope so,
I'm
too.
always up for McAfee on my television.
Absolutely.
Whenever I hear Marcel Bartel,
What's next week?
we'll talk about it here in a minute
Oh, okay, well,
because we have to set it up for this week's show.
Yeah, sit back,
Okay.
relax,
All right.
chill.
Whenever I hear Marcel Bartel, I think he's a mime.
That is very close. It is very, very close.
Breezango has titles, Don.
Finally.
Breezango
time.
has belts. And Austin Theory?
Yep.
Okay. So this week on NXT, because Karrion Kross had to vacate the title after being injured at TakeOver, we have a 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match for the NXT Championship.
And those contestants are
Gargano, Ciampa,
the usual suspects.
Cole,
Baby.
and who's the fourth?
Well,
Austin-
no. You have to say it with a British accent because it sounds so much better when William Regal says it. So your fourth competitor is Finn Balor.
Yeah, the Prince.
So they're gonna give Balor the belt.
So that's why
Maybe.
that's why Alex was talking about possible McAfee shenanigans because Cole's in the match. Pit
So question-
time!
are they going to have the clock the whole time?
I hope so.
Probably not.
Yeah, this is an Impact, bro.
The WWE has production value.
That's
I
awesome.
won't put much above Impact over this. I mean,
Pit time! Matt Riddle versus King Corbin. Alex, I believe we're to you.
It will be Matt Riddle by pin.
All right, hold on a second.
Because we have decided to go with Bro Derek as the finisher instead of the Bro Mission. Could throw in the floating bro.
Don.
I hate all the bros.
I hate, even though I'm not a big fan of his, I'm still going to say Riddle by pinfall.
LA.
Bro.
I'm going to Swerve because remember we have a king's ransom out on his head.
Which still should have been paid and hasn't been paid.
Correct. So since it's still money in the bank, Shawty, what you think? I'm going with King Corbin.
Calling the finish?
Yeah, he's gonna get a pin because there's gonna be some shenanigan distractions going on. By Short at G.
So we do have our pre-show match underway. We will not do commentary for that because we are still running through the show, but Alex will be paying attention for us.
But I will say Liv has never looked better. Appreciate the matching gear. Riot to Liv, Liv to Riot.
Oh, so it's like a half and half thing?
Basically.
Very nice. All right.
And just Liv Morgan, how you doing?
Now, in that fatal four-way, H may have booked a match of the year in the industry overall, but it's a very big gamble when you're not up against anything except Impact. So we'll see. Because
And does that count?
It does.
Do we have to?
The cold steer. The cold.
Sorry, the Iconics look great as well.
For those of you that want it, the Otis Money in the Bank lunchbox is available on Shop
Noted.
that they showed on Friday night.
Why is this a thing?
Sami Zayn, everybody.
Because Vince loves Otis.
Oh.
And Miz, you know I'm a fan. You know I enjoy your work. But you really need to avoid a promo off with Big E. You will lose every time.
I don't know about that.
That man is a promo machine at this point in his career.
Miz
Twitter.
has earned his stripes to go
Yeah.
toe to toe.
But I do want to go back. I want to go back to the lunchbox because
I'm sure you do.
working from home right now, isn't that the smartest thing right now to try to market as a lunchbox?
For Otis, yeah.
What's racially wrong about lunch boxes, sir?
And speaking of that lunchbox, at what point did Big E have a problem with somebody waving a salami around? Hasn't that been his bit for the last
He's
2
been
years?
waving his salami
Technically,
around
that's
well
pancake.
before the
No.
Me Too movement.
No.
I know. I want to get off this topic. I
And
really
how
do.
about that SmackDown ending? Did
Oh, yeah.
not see that coming.
I had a feeling because of the angle in which they used Roman last, and I'm like, okay, something's going on.
Well, when I thought something was weird when he was looking through the contract.
Yes.
Because that's not a Roman Reigns.
That's not
At
a
all.
face move either.
No.
So I'm like, I wonder why Roman's stalling.
Yes.
This is weird.
It is.
And then it was, that's not a spoiler. And he looked to his
No,
left.
that's
and
not
I
a
went,
prediction.
It's
It's
a
a spoiler.
And you didn't even see. You already knew what the camera was going to.
Yeah.
You already
And
knew.
it was one of those, I'm sorry, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Let
What?
me see it. It's like, let me see it. Come on. Come on.
Did you see who showed up as one of the fans during SmackDown, though?
No.
Kenny Omega.
I thought that was a video of him that somebody had put up.
He has said that it was him and he just wanted to have a good time.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Whether or not he's playing off the bit
Why
or
wouldn't you?
not,
Why wouldn't
he
you?
has said it's him.
Am I the only one though that really wants a Roman Brock tag team? Just so
Yes,
watch
you're
it.
the only
yeah,
one.
you're
I want to
absolutely
watch
the
them
only
run
one.
roughshod over everything.
If they already
Oh,
had.
yeah,
You want a Brothers of
Kenny
Destruction
Omega,
again.
he said it was in this as a fan. Was he like in the one of those screens or whatever?
Yes,
in
yes,
audience,
yes.
or
Yeah,
what?
that's
No,
kinda,
he showed up with a folding chair, Don.
yeah, that's kind of what
Okay,
the
stop
fan
it.
thing.
We have a
meant,
show to do.
Don.
Yes, Don. He was actually on one of the screens.
Yeah.
Somebody took a screenshot of it on Twitter. It was hilarious.
Kind of what it meant.
But now does Roman's shirt make more sense?
Absolutely.
Wreck everything and leave.
Yeah.
So is he going to
Because
be?
it was suplex everyone and leave.
So now is he going to win the championship and then we won't see him on TV for a few months?
Well, maybe we'll talk about that when that match comes up on the pre-show.
Yeah.
ROH, Marty Scurll was not at the tapings. So that saga continues.
Supposedly he is on ice. He is separated from everything Ring of Honor and not involved, but he has not been dismissed pending
right,
investigation.
but I'm just saying he wasn't at the tapings. is
But what I'm saying is he's not involved with anything.
Got to get a 10-second review on what's going on with Marty Scurll.
Hashtag speaking out. That's
You're
all you
going to
know.
need to look that one up off air.
Yeah.
That's not
Gotcha.
what we're going to...
This week's episode of ROH focused on Hot Sauce Tracy Williams.
Excellent performer. Interesting as paint.
Yes.
Hey, You delivered a nice line there, buddy.
I usually do that. You
But
just
he's
are too
part of-
busy talking.
But he's part of the lifeblood of our league.
Usually.
That's not a thing anymore.
I know.
Hasn't been for a long time.
So I think how many matches do we have left to pick? We have 2 left. Let's go ahead and just pick those now because I've gotten all my material out of the way.
You've got your stuff in.
Let's go to the title match first and then come back.
The title
Wait,
match
I think we
first.
have 2 title matches left. Oh, no, that's right. One of them's different.
Triple threat, no holds barred for the Universal Championship.
Okay, now you can answer my question.
Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman. Don.
Unfortunately, Roman Reigns by pin.
Okay. LA.
I don't like what they're doing to The Fiend. I might boycott making a pick on this because Bray Wyatt's my boy. He's put in work. He doesn't need the belt, but he deserves it. So give it to Brock Lesnar Jr. for the pin.
Oh. Alex.
Well, technically, that's not off-brand for LA because apparently Roman is kind of heelish now. So it does fit the motif. I am saying it isn't unfortunate. Although I do have a question about, do we get The Fiend or do we get Bray Wyatt showing up based on who signed the contract?
I don't think they're smart enough to use that angle.
That's a valid point. But I think it is Roman Reigns by pin because Bray and Braun continuing on their acid trip of whatever it is doesn't need a belt, and a belt just muddies the waters on what they're trying to tell as a story.
Matter of fact, he's going to actually pin Braun if you think about it.
I think let me put it this way. He'll pin Braun if it's The Fiend. He'll pin Bray if he shows up and not The Fiend.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be Bray.
So who are you picking?
Reigns by pin.
Okay.
Did you like those circles there, buddy?
Long way to go.
I said it twice.
Did you like
I've
those
been
circles?
trying to update everything else. That's why
I
was
understand.
confused.
When I see your head down, I try to fill dead air.
It's a sweep. He'll carry this belt. I think Roman will carry this belt until Heyman turns on him with the return of Lesnar, and that's your match for SummerSlam.
So,
Survivor Series. I
So,
apologize.
question.
Oh, that's a quick turn, though, in my opinion.
Question. So, did they just kind of already come up with this idea when he said he wasn't going to come because of the pandemic, and they were like, oh, well, when you do, you're going to get a title shot?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But I think your other aspect is Roman's about to, if I'm correct, Roman is about to be what people wanted Brock to be. They don't mind somebody destroying everyone and being this ultra beast of a man, but
So
they
he's
want
not
him to
gonna
show
leave.
up. They want him there. He may not partake in as many matches. He may be around for different angles.
Is it going to be Stone Cold teaming up with
I have
Triple
to stop
H?
us for a minute.
Similar.
because we haven't gotten any picks from Jay.
Yeah.
Oh my. Jay, you're about to play catch up.
Hey, Jay.
We're gonna
Welcome to the lightning round.
We knew you were there, buddy.
We're gonna catch Jay up in the break.
Okay.
We love you, bud. We knew you were there.
And Russ has also picked Roman Reigns. But no, Jay, we'll get your picks in the break.
Did Don pick already?
But
Yeah,
we
he
could
picked
get
first.
Jay's pick on this one though. 'cause
Don said, unfortunately, Roman Reigns by pin. I want
Yeah.
to make sure that his
we'll
is
get
in.
Jay's pick on this one.
Well,
'cause
we're
we got
keeping
one
him
to pick.
involved as little as possible, and I like that. It's a great show.
Oh.
Keith Lee.
Oh,
versus-
Hey, FYI, my pick may be a combination of some of what you guys say.
Oh,
okay.
combo.
That's okay.
We like combo platters.
You're with us often enough. You have a rudimentary
Yeah,
knowledge. of
yeah,
what's going
yeah,
on. Keith Lee versus Randy Orton.
Ooh.
LA, we are to you.
Shenanigans.
Wait, what would be
By who?
shenanigans? Because something may not apply.
Drew McIntyre.
I don't think that applies.
Well, he's got carted off in the ambulance, so.
But he's been involved in everything with Randy Orton for the last month.
I can go either way on that because Drew is not in. Well, you know what? I will defer to Don.
Okay.
Don,
Well, that's
does,
even Don.
Does Drew McIntyre count as shenanigans in this match?
No, because I would say no, because when he's not like a regular
Ooh,
person on,
Botchamania. Sorry.
like a manager or a tag team or something like that. And two, yes, they had a rivalry, but it ended. I mean, this is another match.
Hi,
I don't-
Faith.
But doesn't
Don,
his
face right behind you.
Wait, so that
What?
was
Don,
this is
face
not,
right behind you. I'm
but
saying hi to Faith.
didn't his definition describe shenanigans?
I will.
Okay.
Am I
No, they both say no. I'm going to defer to that.
And the only
So,
reason why, man, if I can,
see where you
defend,
were-
if I can defend
yeah.
myself
No,
for a moment,
I see where you're going, but you're outvoted.
that's fine. If I can just defend my
Sure.
point for a moment.
Sure.
The reason why I even call it shenanigans is because there's no belt involved. It's not a title match, so to speak. Keith Lee and Randy Orton had a match.
Well, did they?
Well, match-ish. And then they now have a backup match, which had nothing to do with Drew McIntyre. So then that would kind of equate it to...
But Randy's still in an angle.
Wait,
with him.
I 100% agree about the validity of somebody getting involved, but as far as being an unexpected shenanigans, that's where I'd say no.
Cool. Well, Drew's
All right.
still going to interfere in the match, which means that Keith Lee's going to win.
I would
Who's
call that
making
shenanigans because he's still, they had a rivalry. but
Don, you
there's
just
been
said no.
My boy
That's it.
Dunn.
No, what I'm saying is that they didn't have a tag team. They didn't have a thing. I would say that was shenanigans, I thought.
There you go. And we'll go with that. Shenanigans it is.
We don't
That's what I'm
have
saying.
the board.
Yeah, they had a rivalry, but
made
it's
the
been
mouse.
I love how Don says no and then
I told
argues
you-
the opposite
but I
side,
told you his-
and then
I
he
told-
comes back and argues
I
that
told
it
you
is.
his defense was in
Because your
favor.
words literally were, I would say no.
And then he gave
Those
the
are the
definition.
exact
But you
words.
guys didn't listen to him. He gave the definition
No,
of what
he
shenanigans
did.
is.
He did.
Yes.
All right, then
You know what we need to
then
do?
we go to a tiebreaker.
We need to-
Jay. Can we count shenanigans?
Come on, Jay.
with Drew
Bring it
McIntyre
home.
in this match?
I am so glad that I'm not the decision
Come on, Jay.
maker on this one.
We
Yeah,
have our
you're-
first result, by the way.
Yay or nay, Jay?
I'm gonna go yay.
Yeah. yes.
Sure,
So
suck up to
LA
the new guy,
So
Jay.
you are calling shenanigans for who? Who wins?
Keith Lee's winning
Via pinfall?
via pin, baby. Drew's gonna give him that Claymore.
That is an 8-point risk.
Yes.
Alex.
Copy and paste.
Oh no.
Because
Don.
it's wrong. But
Don,
it is.
We're running out of time. Don.
I'm going to do Keith Lee by pin, but no shenanigans.
I am with Don. Jay.
I'll do that as well.
All right,
Wait, you'll
so-
do which as well, Jay?
He's
Done.
with us. He's with us.
And Rob.
Oh, what's
All
the
right.
result that came in?
That would be the
the
Riot
result?
Squad by pinfall.
Right squad via pinfall. I don't have my thing.
No,
don't have
I
my
lost
board.
two.
I'm already up, baby.
All right.
Don't get used to it.
I'm getting paid, especially
I've
this-
already missed as many matches tonight as I did all of SummerSlam.
Woo.
So LA and I both are doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay gets an incomplete for that match.
Oh, by the way, Rob, Faith says hi back.
Hi, Faith.
All right. So as the card stands, Alex, grade the card.
Well, do we want to talk about the rumored around the Keith Lee, Randy Orton thing at all?
Quickly, running out of time.
We got okay. There is some rumor that we're going to get a replay of WrestleMania 9 where Drew McIntyre does get involved, isn't still quite himself, and then Randy Orton goads him into a match for the title, and that's where you get your switch
Because
WWE.
I spoke this into existence.
Yes,
Alex,
you did.
As
This
the
is-
card stands, grade the card. I did call the Yoko Hogan.
Yes, you did. I'm going to give it a C minus.
C minus. Don.
C.
C. LA.
Is it still Thunderdome rules with fans on the
Yeah, we're in Thunderdome at least till the end of October.
D? It always gets a D as long as fans are there.
I'm
And
going
that's
just
stupid.
above average. I'm going to say C plus. Jay.
I'll go with a C.
All right, sticking right there in the middle. All right, here's the thing. We're going to go off air here in just a minute, but stay on vocalnow.com because coming up at 6:55 Eastern, we will be back on the air,
Ooh, my fan.
and we will tell you when to start the pay-per-view. We will be doing a watch-along tonight. Russ says B+. For the entire pay-per-view. We're going to be online the entire pay-per-view. So, have the WWE Network on your TV. On your other, and mute that, because really.
Or turn it way down.
Have more than one
Right.
streaming device is what
Correct.
he's saying. Keep going.
On your other streaming device, have Vocal Now up, and we will tell you when to start the pay-per-view so that you are lined up with us. We will be watching it live, and then you can be right there with us. Alex will be handling our Twitter feed. LA Runs Dallas also will be active on the Twitter feed. Whether he knew it or not, it's going to happen.
And selecting a winner for going on a virtual lunch with my buddy Don. You could win that tonight. I'm going to pick a winner tonight.
A virtual meet and greet with a Clubhouse or for the Cheap Podcast talent. Watch for the secret hashtag.
Yeah.
And the virtual lunch where you watch me eat barbecue. LA barbecue.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
You're not
Follow
alone.
us on social media while you're at it. Everything is the Cheap Podcast. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves. You can follow me on social media if you would like. Everything is Yes That Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN.
LA Runs Dallas, all formats, all the time.
I am Vexploit on all social media. If you want, you can take us anywhere with the Vocal app. VOKAL now.com or the Vocal app and be vocal anywhere.
And if you want to get an awesome t-shirt like what Alex has, go to prowrestlingtees.com/cheap podcast. Buy one of our awesome shirts. Also my MJF. Gotta thank the wife for that. And on Twitter, follow me at Igbunu, IGBNUUU.
I think I just saw her try to crawl out of the screen.
Any emails you can send to me, rob@thecheappodcast.com. We're going to be live in just about 2 or 3 minutes. So go get it, take a bathroom break, get your stuff, get your snacks. Until next week, when we'll be back at 2 weeks from tonight, because next week's the holiday weekend. Just follow us on social media and all that good stuff.
You'll get the information.
For Don, for Alex, for LA, for the Empire, I'm Rob. This has been the Cheap Podcast. Get ready for payback. Good night, everybody.